What are the coldest and scariest lines you've ever heard? Give us the good stuff down in the comments below. Today's sponsor is the best available. Come see these intrepid adventurers grow stronger and delve into the dungeon of the Mad Mage in a lovingly edited and illustrated D&D web series. Link in the description. One of the characters in our party got replaced by a doppelganger. That character's girlfriend, played by another player in the party, upon finding out who she'd actually been spending the past month and a half with, responded with two chilling statements during the interrogation of said doppelganger. The first one was after a smug retort from the doppelganger. "We'll see how smug you are when you have 3 feet of halberd shaft shoved up your ass, and then I cast thunderous smite on it!" When the doppelganger responded by insulting that a lawful good paladin wouldn't resort to such tactics, she hit him with the second bit. "You spent over a month pretending to be him, deceiving me, taking things from him that weren't yours to take, hearing thoughts of mine that weren't yours to hear, taking love from me that wasn't yours to share in. Do not think for 1 second that my goodness is keeping you alive. The only reason you live is so that when I've dealt with your true master, I can spend a month reclaiming what you stole from us. And if by some miracle you slip from our grasp, I will dedicate the rest of my life to hunting you down. And when, not if, when I find you, you're going to become my personal practice dummy to see how much pain I can exert before you break. Every last day you draw breath, you will beg to reverse time and let me kill you in the past." Yeah, it wasn't just the doppelganger who had a new level of respect for the paladin after that conversation. My players had moved to face their big bad evil guy, an incomprehensible alien god who had reduced itself into a body of flesh and reason just to speak and understand mortality. He didn't talk much or deliver a lengthy monologue, but revealed a few things he had set in motion. After some banter and haggling from the players, he silenced them and spoke. "Enough! Listen to me, and listen well. I'm going to kill you. Each and every one of you. Afterward, I will kill any family, lovers, or ones you worship. To the monk, I will kill your brother. To the rogue, I will kill your father. To the cleric, I will even kill your god. Furthermore, I'll murder any friends, companions, perhaps even comrades you hold dear. To the paladin, I will kill your captain, and, to the cleric, I will kill that little tiefling. Then, acquaintances, friendly shopkeepers, everyone who ever smiled and waved at you. And then their families, their lovers, their gods, and so on and so forth. So that when all is said and done, when your mountains have crumbled and your seas have boiled, the only memory that you 6 ever existed will lie solely within me. Now, with that having been said, I implore you to understand the importance of this one simple request, that you leave upon me a lasting impression." Ooh, I got goosebumps and I just read the dang thing. Long but important context. My fighter, Rodo, took it upon himself to protect our bard, Fritz. He deeply respected Fritz's ability to make people happy, while he saw himself as little more than a trained tool of violence. Meanwhile, our druid, Oberon, needed Fritz to survive, since Fritz was the rightful king and Oberon was planning to marry the crown princess. Oberon and his love both wanted to avoid the possibility of ruling, so keeping Fritz alive was key to their goals. Rodo went out of his way to protect Fritz. At one point, he spent an entire combat in a T-Rex's mouth just to keep it from chomping Fritz. So, when we started exploring a dungeon full of deadly traps, Rodo, despite not being the best at handling traps, did everything he could to take the brunt of them and keep Fritz safe. Midway through the dungeon, Fritz was about to interact with a trap when Rodo asked to handle it instead. The trap ended up being worse than we anticipated and killed Rodo on the spot. Everyone took it hard, both in and out of character, since the players really liked Rodo, but Fritz felt deeply guilty, seeing Rodo's death as his fault. This made Fritz very reckless, much to Oberon's frustration. He dismissed Oberon's concerns with a, "Don't worry, I'm lucky," before stumbling into several traps, leaving him inconvenienced but not too badly hurt. Yet. The party then had to decide how to handle the next room, which had an obvious trap that had already damaged our barbarian. Fritz decided that enough people around him had been hurt by his inaction and attempted to pass the trap. Oberon tried to stop him in a panic, but Fritz rolled high and disabled the trap on his first try, taking no damage. Fritz turned back to Oberon, and in the coldest voice I'd ever heard from him said, "What did I already tell you? I'm motherfucking lucky." That was the only time I'd ever heard Fritz or his player get angry, and the only time Fritz swore. It gave me goosebumps. I loved it. It is said that a man may die twice. There is, of course, the moment your heart stops beating, and then a little later on, the last time anyone thinks to speak your name. I will help you, little prince. I shall be your Atticus, and you shall be my Aurelius. But I warn you now, should you, to your people, become a Nero, I will kill you twice. The big bad evil guy has convinced the party to meet him because people they've met are being kidnapped. The party walks into the area, and there are several 10-foot stakes standing behind the big bad with ropes attached. The big bad explains why he's angry and what he wants the party to do. To incentivize them, he says he's taken someone important from each of them. Dramatically, he whips the sack off stake 1, revealing party member 1's sister tied to the stake. Stake 2 holds party member 2's childhood friend, the person they love most. When he gets to the last stake, it's blank. He turns to the halfling, who has no confidence, and says, "But I couldn't find a single creature on this plane that loves you." Not one I heard, but one I read somewhere and used on my players, just thinking, that sounds cool. The players were being absolute douche nozzles to an NPC for some reason. He told them to cut it out, and they basically said he wasn't man enough to stop them. The NPC drops the kind uncle act, leans forward and says, "There are 3 things all mortals fear: the sea during a storm, a night with no moon, and the fury of a gentle man. If you continue to disrespect me as you have been, you will know my fury." Their jaws dropped. One of them said the line gave them shivers, and they wouldn't be screwing with old man Calitronus again. A drow captain demigod, seeking ascension to godhood, is making deals and completing Herculean tasks for deities, looking to become an evil god of freedom. During combat, a PC calls him a pirate bastard. I used his legendary action to attack, but flavored it as a grapple instead. The drow puts his crossbow to the PC's temple and says, "I'm not a pirate, I'm a businessman. It just so happens that my business is crime." Ich würde lieber ein Kind töten. Or, I'd rather kill a child. Here's some context. Our rogue warlock got an order from her patron: poison that seasoned adventurer high priest. The other players tried to console her. "Well, it could be worse. You just need to kill an old man. It could have been a child." I'd rather kill a child. In context, obviously, a child is easier to kill, I'm afraid of something going wrong. But out of context, this sentence is hilarious. Disoriented and trapped in a large room filled with refuse while scoping out a Dr. Frankenstein's lair, the paladin and my cleric were struggling to find a way out. Picture the trash compactor from A New Hope. The DM described the heat in the room and the strange hissing, churning noise building. We didn't realize what was happening until the DM said, "You're in a room full of medical waste. They incinerate medical waste. Roll a dexterity saving throw." Never has the tone of an encounter changed so quickly at our table. Full disclosure, I stole the line from somewhere and I don't know exactly where. Villain of the week. Don't you want to hear my last words? My character. I just did. Shoots him in the head. Yeah, that's a quick and clean way to get it done. I decided to play an Echo Knight fighter. Gave my DM a short backstory. And said I wanted to flavor my Echo as something other than Dunamancy versions of myself. He said, "I got this." And I trusted him. Probably a bad idea. Cut to our first session. In battle, I pop up my Echo. You feel your essence being pulled from you. A tickle at the back of your brain like spindly fingers searching for something. You turn and see your sister. Back to back with you, holding her old battle-worn greatsword you still wield to this day. She looks over her shoulder to meet your gaze, winks, then raises her sword to bring down on the enemy you've put her in front of. What do you do? My sister was dead. The coldest moment happened at a recent session. We arrived in a town on the outskirts of a desert. It was late, so we decided to rest at the inn and conduct our business in the morning. That night, the town was attacked. The townspeople said that 10 of them were captured and dragged off into the desert, including the person we were supposed to meet in the morning. Cue the epic desert chase! The pursuit lasted several days. We finally caught up to the kidnappers and saw their prisoners, but our cleric noticed there were only 7 out of the 10 missing townspeople. We fought the kidnappers and rescued their prisoners. The issue was that we needed supplies for the return trip, as we were almost out. We looted the camp, but there weren't enough supplies to sustain us all for the trip back. Turns out the raiders had been a Yuan-Ti hunting party, and that's how we discovered what happened to the missing townspeople. We decided to prioritize keeping our target alive. If others died, so be it. We made it back to town with 4 survivors. Our DM described a child NPC asking about their papa. Our Warforged player simply said, "They were made of meat," but didn't mention we had been chasing a Yuan-Ti hunting party. In context, it looks like we were forced to commit cannibalism in front of the town at the end of that session. I can't wait to see how this gets resolved next time. One of my PCs is a Spore Druid fighter monk ASMR inspired by Melania. Oh, that's Elden Ring. They were fighting zombies, and when I was struggling to narrate how their frightened ability and necrotic damage was scaring and hurting the zombies, they dropped this line. Even death fears decay! This doesn't exactly answer the question because it hasn't happened in-game yet, but I'm dying to use some of Hisoka's lines from Hunter x Hunter in my Curse of Strahd campaign. I'm so excited for the first time the party engages with Strahd. He'll bring them to death's door, then choose to let them live, saying, "Right now, I'm letting you live, and I'll continue to keep you alive until you've grown enough to become worth killing." First time my players fought a legendary creature at level 8. Guys, they have Lair actions. We are so screwed! Some random crazy guy at a one-shot I played revived a low-level bandit right after we killed his companions just to question him. After the interrogation was over, he said, "You're about to witness a miracle! You're about to watch a man die twice!" Context! I was DMing for a party that wanted to assassinate an evil warlock, big bad evil guy. They infiltrated his castle, disguised as cultists, and brought an explosive hidden as a gift of worship, TikTok inspired. They pulled off several D20, charisma, and stealth checks, avoiding discovery, and, in the end, managed to convince the warlock that the bomb was truly a gift. The moment they walked out the door, he said, "That's a nice disguise you've got on, buddy." A friend of mine had never played D&D before and joined our group in the middle of the campaign. During a large group fight aboard a ship, we had his character enter mid-encounter. He boarded by swinging from a rope and landed behind several unaware enemies. At my table, we like to add a lot of flavor text to our fights, describing actions instead of just saying, "I attack." Since it was his first time, the group wanted to give him the spotlight, so I asked, "How did you land and what did you say?" He replied, "I land quietly and say nothing." He then proceeded to cut down the two guys he landed behind. It's now a running joke at my table to land quietly and say nothing. It's actually kind of funny. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, ring that bell, and let us know in the comments below what are the coldest and scariest lines you've ever heard. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to join our membership program. You keep the lights running for us, and you get early access to videos, maybe a little bit more. We love you all. Please be safe, happy, and healthy. Toodaloo for now.